Beautiful. Well, hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me here today for part 2 of Finding Certainty in Uncertain Times. Today, we're going to be talking about remembering your greatness and finding your power. So it's going to be a great session, and I would love any comments in the chat. Please go forward. So just hands up, who here would like to build or remember their resilience? Beautiful. And who here is keen to take back your power, considering all of the uncertainty in our lives at the moment? I know I do. Awesome. Now I ask you, has your life been smooth sailing the whole time? Nah, absolutely. Mine neither. And as humans, we experience so much in our lives, all of the wonderful, and for a lot of us, the not so wonderful, and sometimes the traumatic. And the thing that I notice as a coach is that we tend to hide from our pasts. We hide from the pain and we hide from the experiences that we've had because we have shame, we have guilt, we have a number of different of the heavier emotions that we feel we need to hide. But the thing is that you are denying your past. You are denying an aspect of yourself. These scars, these experiences, these less than wonderful experiences that we have excuse me, have given you a lesson. It's a scar that has given you the future version of you, because through adversity, we can only change. We can only grow. But a lot of us pretend that that's not the case. And every scar shows you that you have strength. And by hiding it, you are suppressing an aspect of yourself. And these scars, whether physical, emotional, spiritual, can harbor guilt, anger, sorrow, shame, sadness, pain, suffering. I promise you it's going to get lighter. And scars, either visible or hidden, never leave us. And the thing that I've spoken about in my previous session is you scratch the surface and there is everything sitting underneath that. So why do we hide these scars? A lot of times we are absolutely fearing of judgment. Maybe we've made a big mistake in our lives. Maybe we haven't handled ourselves well in a situation. Maybe we haven't lived as the truest version of ourselves. Sometimes we could have deep-seated guilt. I know I had a truckload of it, and it has taken years to unpack it. We could be judging ourselves against the very murky perceptions of what society deems as acceptable. Whatever the case for you, whatever the case for me, whatever the case for everyone around us, holding onto it does not serve us in any way. The thing that does serve us is the ability to use all the strength and the resilience that we have found from overcoming what we thought was impossible at the time. Now, I don't know about you, but I've been in situations where I'm like, I cannot see past the situation. And yet we get through it. And it's a thing in the past. And then we can move forward to our future until the next hiccup, because we as humans will always experience hiccups, but it's how we handle ourselves in that moment that makes the difference. So we can either hide from our past, we can hide from the experiences that we deem as not okay or not acceptable, or we can use them as rocket fuel to propel us into our future. And the choice is yours. You have a decision. You have every opportunity and possibility to be able to choose which way you go. But the thing is that a lot of people choose not to use it as rocket fuel. A lot of people just go, if I can just get back to being normal, I'll be okay. And it's that search for certainty. It's that if I'm just back to being normal, and there's nothing wrong with that. There is no judgment in that. But if we're looking at the opportunity of how we can build resilience through adversity and propel ourselves into our greatness, getting back to homeostasis, it's still playing small in some ways. But it's a step that we need to take to get back to where we were to be able to propel. And the thing is that we can miss the opportunity for growth. We can miss the opportunity for recognizing within ourselves that we are incredible. Because our objective and our only mission, I believe, is to use the pain, the adversity, the suffering, and the lessons to build our strength, to say that enough is enough and I won't be playing small anymore. Napoleon Hill said that every adversity, every failure, every heartbreak carries with it the seed of an equal or greater benefit. And the thing is that I want to tell you something that I know is absolutely true for every single one of you on the call, anyone watching this back, and for myself. And that is, you are unstoppable. There is greatness inside of you. And you have overcome many, many things in your life, and you will continue to. And there's a story, I mean, there's like millions of stories around the world. And I've just chosen this one. So Petra Nemkova, a famous supermodel, was holidaying in Asia when the tsunami hit. She got swept into a palm tree, broke her pelvis, but was able to hold fast while she watched her husband wash away. Out of that adversity, which you cannot imagine, she recognized that there were so many children that were also parentless through that. And she used her adversity and her own pain to overcome what she experienced and to build orphanages in Southeast Asia to support the children who had lost their parents in this time. So from unthinkable adversity to create orphanages, words, that house thousands of displaced children, that is the power of transcendence. And so research in the fantastic work by Martin Seligman in positive psychology has shown that the last positive stage of resilience is transcendence. It describes using bad things that happen to us as rocket fuel to propel our way forward so that we can remember our greatness. So I'm just going to go over a couple of things, and I've got some questions that I want you to screenshot. There's 2 sets of questions that I want you to screenshot, and I want you to start pondering these for yourself. Understanding and remembering your greatness, and B, taking back your power. So there's 2 questions for each. So remembering your greatness, you are way more resilient than you remember. And it is so easy to forget your resilience in times of stress. Our short-term memory could be the single deciding factor in how far we progress in life. So when it comes to facing new challenges, whatever they may be, it is never easy. It can bring doubt, fear, anxiety, procrastination, sabotage, lacking of motivation, and questioning whether we're worthy or not. We can doubt our ability to start something by saying, well, I've never done that before. Oh, I don't know how to do it. Well, and we obsess in the what ifs and how comes, and we shut ourselves down from possibility and opportunity and potentiality from there. But I do know one thing. You are stronger, more capable, more resilient than you will ever realize in any given moment. So think about what you've overcome personally in your life. Injuries, stuff going on at school, studies, family, relationships, health scares, illness, adversity, maybe joblessness, maybe building a business has been the hardest thing you've ever done, loneliness, financial trouble. For you, Craig, having to run out of Melbourne in a moment's blink. And herein lies the problem with the memory loss. We forget that we've overcome so much. So in my career as a previous recruiter and now coach, I've worked with many people seeking jobs. They've been through trauma, redundancy, accidents, divorce, other serious life events. Some are in leadership roles for 20 years and we're not getting a look in the field that they're there because ageism is the thing, I've got to be honest. Others built incredible lives to have lost it, having to go through divorces or look after sick ones. And sometimes the months and the years of unemployment can beat down on them and crush their self-worth. And in my own experience, I've experienced so much crippling anxiety, catastrophizing, PTSD, a baby who we were told was not going to make it. She's fine, she's great, she's 6 and she's freaking wild. She fought, man, she fought. A disconnection to myself, and at times I lost hope. I lost hope of anything ever being different. And I've also achieved many incredible milestones in my life, career success, sport, and many other different things. And I know that you've been through something similar. Whatever it is for you, whatever flavor it is for you, you've been through a version of what I've been through, and I've been through a version of what you've been through. And you have achieved so much more than you give yourself credit for. And maybe you've held yourself back for a million different reasons. And the thing is that you can achieve them so long as you remember your greatness, so long as you remember how impactful you are simply being you, simply being alive in this world and doing what you do. Because there are always people that need you and want you and can experience you in your greatness. So remember the strength. Remember the character traits, the values, remember your skills and your perseverance and who you needed to be to overcome the challenges that you've faced. And what we can do is use those same skills to conquer the next challenges. And when we remember who we are, it's not as daunting as it was before, because life has brought you to be you. God, universe, whatever your belief, has brought you to be your unique self. And the only job I believe in this world is to live as our true selves. And so I'm going to share with you some questions for you to jot down. Bear with me. So remember your greatness. So if you can screenshot these, and I encourage you to write them down. And if you want more questions, I am full of questions. So, but these will get you started. So reach out if you've got any further. But I want you to look at these. So how can you use what happened to propel you as rocket fuel what happened to you is to propel you to rocket fuel to propel you past where you are now. I can't even read my own words. What strength did it give you that no one can take from you? What empowering beliefs do you know to be true about yourself? Which qualities you hold got you through the unthinkable? What do you know about the person that you were? And what did you learn about yourself? Who are you now as a result of the life event that you went through? I'm assuming everyone's got that. I'm just going to stop share for a moment. So I encourage you to really look within yourself. Start answering these questions, because the only way that we can learn and grow is to be honest with ourselves, to really truly look at ourselves. And so the next thing is about taking back your power. Now I'm going to ask you a question, just you nod, or if you're in denial, shake your head. Have you ever blamed someone for your situation or how you feel? If any, oh, Darren, oh yeah, there's a thumbs up. I was going to say, I'm not seeing a nodded head there. So we blame, now this is quite a funny one. Craig, never. Right, wow, you are amazing. And I don't believe you at all. So we blame our boss for being a dick. Now it's quite funny that we are probably all our own bosses, and we may blame ourselves for being a dick some days. I sure do. We blame our parents for not raising us right. We blame the government for climate change, and right now for their COVID response. Craig, I don't blame Darren. Oh, there's some words to be said, I'm sure. We blame the system for why we are broke. We blame our partner for making us miserable. We blame our circumstances for the reason that we are stuck. We blame where we grew up for our lack of opportunity. We justify how we feel based on someone to blame. And when we do this, we give away our power. Now, will blaming anyone but yourself change the situation? That's an answer. That's a question that I want to see you answer. No. Nice one, Matt, Dazza, Owen. Awesome. Beautiful. When we stop blaming, we take back our power, and it gives us choices. And everything changes in the moment. Darren, but I still blame Craig. Everything changes the moment that we decide to no longer tolerate being in this situation. I will no longer tolerate the relationship. I will no longer tolerate putting up with this boss, even if it's yourself. You've got to change yourself. I will no longer tolerate not living to my true potential. I will no longer tolerate this body. I will no longer tolerate putting my life on hold. The day that you get your power back is the day that your life will change in every area. Powerlessness cripples us. It keeps us small. It prevents our greatness. And Jim Rohn said, you must take personal responsibility. You cannot change the circumstances, the reason, or the wind, but you can change yourself. And that is something that you are in charge of. Now, there was a time in my life where I blamed. Oh, how I blamed. I would point the finger so that I could deflect my own position, so that I could shirk responsibility, and so that I can distract myself from my own situation and avoid. If you've ever heard Brene Brown talk, she talks of blaming her husband when she, in the kitchen by herself, dropped her coffee mug and it splashed up onto her white pants. She was like, oh, my husband, oh, my husband. He was not even present. But he got back late, and some other story that she concocted, and he called her and she was like, you're the worst. You made me spill my coffee. And of course, that's just blaming. Darren, it was Craig. Nothing ever comes from blame. No progress comes from blame. No solutions were ever created from blame, probably from their brain as well. No problems were ever solved with blame. Oh my God, I can't even say the word. The event and our feelings and emotions are completely separate. We as humans can make anything mean anything. It's easy to blame. We've all done it. It's easy to be in denial. We've all done it. And it's easy to justify our situation. What is not easy is taking responsibility for the good, the bad, and the ugly. Because we want to pretend that none of that is related to us. But the thing is that doesn't change. Change doesn't happen external to us. It can only ever be ourselves, changing ourselves, that can truly shift ourselves. And so there's some more questions. So let me just share my screen, and please take a screenshot. So take back your power. How can you take your power back? Who or what can you stop blaming for your circumstances? I think there's a few hints in the chat. What area of your life can you take more responsibility? What support can you reach out for to help you go inside to you? How can you accept yourself in a deeper way? And consider, who can you become if you let go of the powerlessness? Take a screenshot. I'm just going to stop sharing a moment. And like I said, the only way that we can truly start to shift is when we can be open and honest with ourselves first. And if you need any support, you need any questions, anything at all, reach out. I'm most happy to support the Fresh Network. And thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that served you. And remember, you are incredible. When you learn to own how incredible you are, your life will shift, because suddenly you have potential, you have possibility, opportunities will come to you. And that heavy weight that you've been carrying around will start to shed when you can own your own worthiness. Thank you.